What's up, you guys? What's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I want to say thank you guys for watching my last video. I appreciate everybody that watches it, makes comments, and just supports me. I really appreciate it. I wanted to make another video because I was sitting here just thinking about some of the worst relationships I've had in my life, and I've had a couple, not too many, but the absolute worst was this guy that I dated, I think back in 2018. And what's so crazy about this guy is that we went to school together, middle school together, and I was single at the time, and I was just chilling, minding my own business, and he hit me up on Facebook. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, we got to rapping, talking or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I remember you from, middle school. You was quiet. You was real quiet. You didn't say much, which he didn't. He didn't say much. He was there, but he wasn't there. And we just got to rapping and talking. And so we decided to meet up, link up. And we did. We linked up. We talked and everything. And the vibe was awesome, you guys. The vibe was awesome. I didn't live in the city where we were both from. I moved. So he decided that he wanted to come visit me. And it was about a 30-minute drive. But he made that drive faithfully every day. And he just grew on me. You know what I'm saying? He was quite a good person. So I thought. This dude was the nigga from hell. When I say he was the nigga from hell, not only him, it was a family affair. And I'm about to get into the story, you guys. Hold on tight and just bear with me through this story, because it's a lot. It's a lot. So here we go. Let's start this story. All right, you guys. Let's get into the story. Okay. Like I said, we met, we kicked it off, we hit it off. He came to see me. Everything was cool for the first 6 months. Everything was great, but there were signs. When I say there were signs, there were signs. As if, like, I told him, like, okay, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been doing this for like 6 months or whatever. I don't know what we doing. I'm not one to really put labels on stuff, but I feel like if you don't figure out what y'all doing, then you all on two different pages. So he was like, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand or whatever. Only thing I want you to understand is when I get in relationships, I don't do good with breakups. So I told him, I said, well, I understand, me either, but if it don't work out, it don't work out. But let's do this. Let's try not to have a bad relationship, so therefore there will not be no breakups, right? That should have been a warning to me as far as him and dealing with shit, right? So first and foremost, everything was good. So one day, we was getting it in. And in the midst of getting it in, he says, will you be my girl? And I said, sure. Okay, cool. So, of course, after it was over and done with, I asked him, I said, so, when you said, I know when a nigga about to bust, it's different from when you thinking with a level head. So, I'm one of those people that's just black and white. There's no gray area with me. I'm going to always be transparent and straightforward with what's going on, and I want you to be the same with me, so therefore there's no miscommunication. So he said, yeah, I meant what I said, I know what I said, and I want you to be my girl. Like I said, though, I don't do good with breakups. Now let me tell you what the second red flag was. This dude I think he is the same age as me, because we went to school together, so he's the same age as me. So at that point in time, we grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, at that time, I think his son was like 18 and my daughter was 18. They were both graduating from high school and whatever. So, my red flag with him was whenever we went to do, he never, ever took his clothes off. Like, I'm one of those people that I want to be bucket naked. Like, I like to sleep bucket naked with my dude. You know, I mean, that's just how I am. Like, I feel like when you get it in, grown folks get bucket naked. Like, we're not pulling up clothes and we're not unzipping zip. So yeah, that was my first red flag. Like, regardless of when we did it, you know what I'm saying? Like, he never took his clothes off, and it was always like pulling it through his little zipper hole. And I said, like, how old are we? Like, how old are we? Like, what are you doing? And I asked him about it. I said, listen, like, why don't you ever take your clothes off? Like, what's the problem? Like, what's going on? Y'all know what this dumb nigga said? This dumb nigga said he grew up in the projects, and he used to mess with women that were older than him. And so when he was messing with the women, that they would have boyfriends, and he would have to keep his head on the swivel and keep his clothes on in case he had to jump out of women or leave real quick. That was his dumbass excuse. But the part of him messing with older women rang so true, because his baby mama, if you do the math, he's like, I think he was 40 then. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. 40, 41. Then his baby mama had to be almost 60. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how old were you when y'all got together? But that's another story. You know, he definitely was, in my opinion, preyed on and taken advantage of as a child, because it makes no difference or no sense of how you have a baby mama that's that old and how old you had to be when y'all got together. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get back into our story. So, you know, that's what he said. So you could tell when you're dealing with somebody that if they have some trauma, you know, and I feel like he had a little trauma going on. And I feel like in some ways, a lot of people have a lot of trauma. Like, I'm not going to put that label on everybody, but a lot of people have trauma. But this motherfucker was cuckoo out the fucking... Again, first 6 months, he was great. But there were things that there were signs that I felt like, you know, things were a little weird. You know, like if me and him got in an argument and, you know, you need to take a break or a time out or some shit, you get in an argument, he would be at my door knocking or calling me constantly. And I'm just like, you know, at first I was like, okay, well, that's not normal, but I guess he just want to talk to me. He just don't want me to be mad at him or whatever, right? So then as time went on, I travel a lot. When the sun get hot and the summer hit, I'm in them streets, yo. I'm in South Carolina. I'm in what is it? I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Florida. I'm all over the place. I don't like to sit still when it get hot. And I told him this, and he was like, okay, but he had never been anywhere. Like, as I sat down and listened to him talk about his life story. So I told him, like, you know, when it get hot, I'm gonna hit these streets. Like, I like to travel, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, I be tied down during the wintertime, and so when the summertime come around, I be in the streets. He said, okay, cool, whatever. But he had never been anywhere. Like, I asked him about his story, his story. You know, you listen to people and you tell them about the things you went through, and as we talking and stuff, and it was never he ever went anywhere or done anything. It was always about how he grew up and how he used to run the streets and how he used to be in this and be in that and how this, that, and the third. And I just was like, well, damn, have you ever been out of our city, out of our state? And he like, yeah, I've been to Virginia a couple of times, but that's when I was younger because my stepdad, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, no, have you ever really been on got away, not just with a woman, but just got away, went anywhere else? And he was like, no, our city and our state was the really only thing that he ever knew. So I was like, cool. So all these trips that I had planned for the upcoming summer, I let him know. So I say, listen, I'm going to Atlanta. He like, no, I ain't going to Atlanta because I heard ain't nothing but gay people there. And why you want to go to Atlanta? Because it ain't nothing. I said, what that got to do with me? Gay people ain't got nothing to do with me. I said, one thing about it, you got to stop going by what you hear and go figure it out for yourself. Now I don't want to go. So he didn't go, but you think I didn't go? Yep. Got in my little car and I was gone. So he want to argue with me when I'm there. All right, boom. So I say, hey, I'm going to Florida. You know, I'm going to Universal, this, that, and that. Well, I don't really do the theme parks. I don't like to ride the rides. I said, okay, well, shit. You could go for the experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to get on no big crazy rides or nothing like that. No, I don't want to go. Cool. You not going don't mean I ain't going. So what I do, deuces, I'm out. And I went. So, of course, as soon as I get down there, he wants to argue with me, right? Boom. So, all right, I'm like, I'm not about to do this. I'm on vacation. I'm about to enjoy myself. So, I disconnect and I enjoy myself. So, boom. Next trip I go on is to Myrtle Beach. He say, I say, you want to go to Myrtle Beach? No, I don't want to go to Myrtle Beach. I hear they races down there. Nigga, they racist every fucking where. Like, what is you talking about? Like, I'm like, again, he said, well, the beaches don't look clean and all this other. I said, have you been? If you ain't never been, don't knock it till you motherfucking try it. No, I'm not going. Cool. I'm out. I'm going to holler at you when I get back. So I was out. So every time I go out of town, he decides he wants to argue with me. Now, mind you, I didn't know that this guy had a disability as far as, I ain't gonna say it's a disability because it definitely isn't this disability. It is the fact that he could not read. I didn't know he couldn't read. I didn't even pay attention. You know, I have my CDLs and he said he wanted to get his CDLs and I said, cool, we